Hey there friends, welcome back to the channel. My name is Sohum and I'm on a mission to spread peace, love, and positivity through music. Today I'll be reacting to 4 more anime openings and endings. It's always a fun time when we get to check these out, so I'm excited to jump in. But before we do that, a massive thank you goes to Amy the Amazing, whose generous support made this reaction possible. And she dedicates this reaction to her 3 lovely children, Alex, Arya, and Corbin. You guys have a really cool mom. Alright, so before we jump into this, the way we're going to structure this reaction is first read a bit of the description of the anime that the song is from, and then obviously listen to the song, and I'll provide my ratings, my notes, and at the end of it we'll have a list of, what we rated each of these reactions. So I encourage you all to follow along with me, and maybe we will have a similar or vastly different list from one another, but we won't know until we find out. So the first anime we're going to be checking out is called ZOM 100 Bucket List of the Dead, and immediately this puts into my mind zombie movie, zombie anime, but let's see. ZOM 100 Bucket List of the Dead follows Akira, a 24-year-old who is trapped in a soul-crushing job and a monotonous life, feeling utterly unfulfilled. He is an office worker whose whole life is turned upside down when a zombie apocalypse breaks out. Okay. Leading him to create a bucket list of 100 things to do before becoming a zombie. Wow, that is a really fun idea. I mean, I guess a bucket list in general is a good idea. I used to have one somewhere. Maybe I deleted it from my Google Drive. But specifically to do before becoming a zombie is a crazy scenario. The series critiques Japan's often harsh work culture and the pressures to conform, portraying how the zombie apocalypse ironically offers Akira a chance to escape the oppressive demands of his job. This kind of, in my mind, puts into perspective the fact that a lot of modern day work culture, hustle culture, the way capitalism is kind of set up, forces people into work environments that are soul-sucking. Therefore, they do, in a sense, become zombies even before an apocalypse actually sets in. Some may say we are actually living in the zombie apocalypse now, but it's a bit conspiratorial. ZOM 100 is a comedy horror with a unique art style. Everything is so vibrant during the zombie apocalypse, even the blood in the series is colorful. The opening song by Kana Boom really encapsulates the playfulness and freedom the zombie apocalypse gives Akira and his newfound friends and family. Alright, that's a good description. The song is called Song of the Dead by Kana Boom. Let's check it out. Ooh. There's a lot going on in that track, and normally I don't comment on the videos just because sometimes I do have to block them for copyright, so I don't want to be speaking on something that you all can't see. But hopefully if this one doesn't get blocked, you guys get to see and appreciate the different visuals in this music video. I mean, besides the super pretty anime women in this video, there is a lot of color, which I appreciate. As Amy wrote in the description of this one, everything is very colorful. And for me, I don't know if you guys can glean some understanding about who I am based on my thumbnail creations, because like, I create my own thumbnails. I try to make them as poppy slash colorful as possible, not for the YouTube algorithm, not to make eyes click on it more so just for the sake of it, but actually because I view each thumbnail as a way to express my artistic side. Now, this comes from somebody who is not a graphic designer, but anytime I see animes, I'm already impressed. Like, the bar is very low for what a good animation style needs to look like. This one definitely clears it, and I love all the fun moments here. Like, if you can see on your screen now, this fully naked muscular man with like a star kind of shining out of him. Very interesting. So let's talk a little bit about the music here. I feel like it's very fast paced. A lot of emphasis on the drums and bass in this one, which I like. Oftentimes a chief complaint of mine is that the bass can be too quiet when it deserves a little bit more either obvious grooviness or at least a bit turned up in the mix. This bass, I think, was right in that sweet spot where I like it. I can hear it. It's not overpowering. I would say that the vocalist is not my cup of tea. It's just stylistically, maybe the timbre of his voice. It also seemed to me that it wasn't very melodic overall, especially compared to like your sing-songy anime openings and just style of singing in general, which is totally fine to have a different style. It just didn't really speak to me in a way that would make me rate this higher than probably, I would say the ceiling for this one has to be around 8.4, an 8.4 ceiling. But let's be tentative about it. So let's do 8.1 to an 8.4, because I don't think it belongs in the 7s here. Big fan of just the bassiness. I think that brought this up probably like 0.3 or something like that. So let's check out the next one here. This is from an anime called Black Butler Emerald Witch Arc. Black Butler follows Ciel, and this is we actually reacted to, I think, a different opening from this anime before. So Black Butler follows Ciel, a young nobleman, and his demon butler Sebastian as they investigate supernatural and criminal cases in Victorian-era London. In a sense, kind of reminds me of oh god, what's that detective's name? The guy, he has the monocle, the magnifying glass, and he has the friend who helps out, Sherlock Holmes. All while Ciel seeks revenge for his family's murder. Desperate for revenge, Ciel summons a demon, Sebastian, and makes a contract with him. Sebastian will serve as his butler and help him achieve his goals, and in return, Ciel will offer his soul. Definitely a Faustian bargain. This series explores themes of morality and justice. So the song is called Waltz by Ryogujo. Let's check this out. Oh no, we have a bit more to read here. My apologies. Before we jump in, this is an ending for the new season that started in the spring 2025 anime season. Endings typically are calmer than opening songs, but if done well, they can produce an emotional response. I'm down for that. I also really love the clarity here, because oftentimes I may treat these things as the same, an ending versus an opening, but they are very obviously different things in terms of what they do narratively. So yeah, an opening should be different from an ending structurally. The song plays off like a dark gothic fairy tale. Ciel might have sold his soul, but he is still a child and thinks like one. Ciel has lost so many important people in his life, and they are highlighted in silhouette towards the middle of this song. He now has a small group of people that support him. The ending theme shows that he is trapped by his contract with Sebastian, but in many ways Sebastian is the one member of his chosen family that has not left him or let him down. Wow, this should have been all caps. This read here is so important. This gives so much context for who Ciel is and how others have engaged with him and why that shapes his worldview and possible kinship with Sebastian. Man, You're really making me want to watch all these shows. Let's check out the song, shall we? Ooh. Ah.
踊るこの世界でどうか手を離さずに何度となく行き交う悲しい愛しさを交わさずにいつしか秘密が普通へと変わり果てても僕
What is this instrument right here? I'm unfamiliar. It sounds almost like a glockenspiel or like a xylophone, but I'm not sure.
秘密が普通へと変わり果てても僕らは期待していられるかなね強がってなくちゃ崩れきって消える魔法とすら呼べないこの願いを捨てた方が楽多分そうだとしてそれでも絶え間なく螺旋を描く僕らは恐れを振りほどき幕は開けてきたあの過去は今と共にあることを忘れた方が楽たとえそうだとしてそれでも絶え間なく螺旋を描く
Wow.
僕らのワルツ僕らのワルツ
Ooh. Wow. That is super interesting. I'm not sure I quite understand this ending. I definitely think it's good. There's just moments that like really catch me off guard, and we like entered this like massive wall of sound when we I think transitioned from the pre-chorus into the chorus. So a lot of the softer acoustic melody vocals and the layering alongside that kind of almost got magnified, and like maybe threefold magnification happened in that chorus that immediately followed. But then again, we dissipate afterwards into this like very somber clearing. Like you hear the cymbals kind of like shimmy and shimmer out of existence alongside the vocals and the strings then swelling. So atmospherically, this is like, I don't know, it feels like we're hovering between like 5,000 and 30,000 feet. Like basically if we were on a flight, we are just going up and down, chasing lower altitudes, and all of a sudden shooting, rocketeering up all the way to 30,000, maybe penetrating the stratosphere, and then kind of softly and almost randomly returning back to a base camp, returning back to level. If that doesn't make any sense to you, I totally get it. I think in terms of like the instruments that we were hearing, a lot of interesting instruments were ringing out and making their voices known. And all things considered, this is an ending, right? So you would come away after the episode having heard this, and then you're left with your thoughts. You're left to contemplate the episode, or probably just spam click the new episode, which tends to be the case with us binge watchers. Man, where do I rate this? Is it better than the first one? I want to say yes. I want to say it is in the 8s. Let's put it in the 8s, and I think it is above the first one. 8.3. I'll give it probably to an 8.5, so in the end it's going to be an 8.4 if I just average it. That's my tentative rating for now. This one is just so unique, and it does stand out. because I'm not as well versed with endings, I'm questioning a little bit of the execution, because as Amy said, this should leave you with some emotional feeling. Now, I don't have a very obvious attachment to the show and the characters in the same way that a true fan and watcher of Black Butler might. So that's why I'm couching my answer here with an 8.4, which is pretty solid. So let's check out the third one. This is from an anime called Fire Force, which we've already done several reactions now to Fire Force songs, and we actually get to see it returning Queen Bee, which is fun. So the anime, Spring 2025 anime, this is for the last season of Fire Force. It has been 5 long years since the last season. Really? A 5-year delay. The opening song is calmer than many Fire Force openings. The melancholic nature of the song reflects what is going on in the story at this point. Love when they map the feeling of the story with the with the actual song and the emotions it's trying to evoke. Just very synergistic. The very end of the opening has the main character Shinra's footprints that scorch the earth due to his pyrokinetic abilities. A little glimmer of hope is given at the very end of the opening when life grows after Shinra's path burns the earth. Oh wow. This is about to be really cool. Let's check it out. The song is called High Flame by Queen Bee.
忘れないで慣れてしまわないで終わりより始まりのそばに来て怯えないで諦めてしまわないで誰の愛なのかすらもわからずに信じている傷つけてゆく呆れるほどに重ね続け汚れならば超えてゆく胸に火を前に振り投げるさ毎日砕けくれる何もなかった思い出の先それを引き受けた世界に居場所なら強くなりたい今強くありたい終わりより始まりのそばに来て
Oh, good vocal melody there. Yeah, that's a solid song overall. I feel like just let me get that spelling right there. I feel like for me this song actually felt more cohesive than every song we've heard so far in this reaction set. And I wasn't expecting that because when we were in that pre-chorus, everything feels very, how can I say it? It feels like you're at home drinking hot coffee or, hot chocolate, depending on your age, and just enjoying life, relaxing. There's nothing crazy going on, but you know that things are happening. In a week's time, life is going to change for one reason or another. So there's this like looming feeling of the chorus is going to be bigger. And when the chorus happens, it is bigger, but it's not so jarring of a difference that it feels overwhelming. That's why I write, the chorus is not overwhelming. It's very pleasant, and it manages, again, to quote myself, to stay in the pocket in a very smart way. And that was especially noticeable to me after the chorus kind of finishes. You extend it a little bit, and the post-chorus where we return back to that feeling in the intro of, man, there's some hopefulness there. And you can even see it depicted visually, as Amy wrote. The scorched earth now at least allows some life to spawn back in. I really like this one. This again feels like the best one we've heard so far, and I wouldn't say by a large margin, but it definitely takes the cake for me thus far. So given our previous 8.4 out of 10, this does feel like an 8.5 to 8.6 kind of beast. So I'm honestly just inclined to give it an 8.55 here out of 10. I really like the vocal melodies. One thing I have to at least mention is I am not a big fan of the nasally vocals. That could just be his singing style or his timbre, what he's trying to go for in this song, or Queen Bee, and I think Queen Bee is actually a they, them, so my apologies. But it's not my preference for the nasally vocals, but it still works because the melody itself is very good, and because of how well in the pocket it is, there's no moment of absurdity that like takes me out of the experience, you know? And to like use a random example, if you've ever like watched a movie that feels so immersive, the world that they're showing you, it's fantastical, but also feels plausible and real. But then they do something stupid, and I can like think of Game of Thrones season 8 as like a primary example. They did so much world building from seasons 1 to 6. The slow deterioration of the show happened between 6, 7, and 8. And 8 wasn't even a slow deterioration, it was just a collapse into nothingness, destroying the immersion that one felt in that world with so many interesting storylines all collapsing into a dying neutron star. I could go on and on infinitely about how bad season 8 Game of Thrones was. So this was not that bad. This was in fact very good. It was cohesive, it made sense, the builds were all there, and no cataclysmic fall off at the end. My word. Alright, let's check out the last anime today, shall we? This one is from an anime called Kengan Ashura. It's the first opening here. Now this anime is about Kazuha, who is an ordinary 56-year-old man who one day is summoned by the chairman of his company and hired as a manager of a gladiator. Okay, that reminds me, I have to go see Gladiator 2. I guess go see is not possible anymore. I have to see Gladiator 2. He learns that these hired gladiators engage in battles called Kengan matches to protect the corporate rights of the business they represent. Is this like a trial by combat kind of thing? Kazuha is assigned to manage a mysterious Kengan fighter named Oma Tokita. Both men join the Kengan Zetsume tournament with the hope of winning spot as chairman of the Kengan organization. This song is called King and Ashley by My First Story. Let's just check this out.
Let's go!
Oh my god, the thickness. Ooh, I like that. I think I like that the best out of everything I heard here. Immediately mid eights to let's see, mid eights to high eights for me. I think we got to give the number rating, so 8.5 to maybe like an 8.8. So where does that give us? Somewhere like in the 8.65 range there out of 10. I just feel like whenever these anime openings or endings, they get heavy, sometimes they lean into it in the right way and then just kind of throw it away. Not this one. This one leaned into the heaviness and pushed the pedal to the metal and actually hit it out of the park on that second drop, because I thought we were going to get the peak of this performance in the first chorus, which already sounded amazing. Not that I had low hopes or anything afterwards, but I just didn't expect for us to have a double drop where it was heavier. It felt more supported somehow than the chorus did. And also the transitions from the early sections into the initial chorus, really loved how the changing vocals kind of accompanied that change, allowed it to make sense, because we started with a real big blast of sound, right? And then we had this almost black metal-esque section. And the way I kind of think of black metal is it's very rapid fire, high tempo drumming and guitar playing and strumming along with harsh vocals. The moment I realized it wasn't going to be black metal was when the vocals came in. They were harsh, but more breathy than harsh. And then honestly, they switched out of being harsh for the moment and back into more of a sing-songy vocal style. So all of that was like, maybe this is more hard rock or metalcore. But then that thought went out of my mind after we reached the second drop. This feels like a very hard rock song to me, and hard rock is always near and dear to my heart, so I definitely am biased to great drops, heavy vocals, heavy drums, heavy guitar, and when they happen all at once in a moment that makes sense, like we heard at that like minute 15 portion, you got a high 8 song at the very least. So I think 8.65 is a very fair rating for this one. So let's check out what our ratings were overall. So we started with ZOM 100 here. I gave 8.1 to an 8.4 ceiling. So I think now, considering the music video, I think just for the music video alone, I do want to give it like an 8.3. I really liked the visuals in that one. So 8.3, yeah. Catchy motif. I remember that one. 8.3, and then Black Butler, what did we give that? We gave that an 8.4, so 1.1 higher. 8.3, 8.4. Wow, then 8.55, so 0.15 higher. And then I guess 8.65, 0.1 higher there. So we literally just stair-stepped our way up to better and better openings. I guess if we continue doing this reaction set, if there were more openings to react to in this video, we would eventually, after 13 more songs, get to a 9.95 out of 10. I'm down for that, but not today. We're going to end the video off there. I hope you all enjoyed the reaction. I will catch you in the next one. Hey friends, I hope you all enjoyed the reaction today. And if you'd like me to react to one of your favorite songs, you can hit the link in the description box down below. It is the best way to support my channel. But in any case, your support, your kindness, your comments, your likes, they mean the world to me, and I just wanted to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you. And as always, my friends, have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care, and peace.